Hey guys, my name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of the Forgotten Race Review. We're done with Ultimate Wilderness for now, so we're going to jump back to the request, and this request comes to us courtesy of one Adam Spain today, with appearances in Inner Sea Bestiary as well as Inner Sea Races. We're talking about the Syrinx. So I am proud to say that as of last week, Black Dragon Gaming has received its second patron, and we are equally proud to say that this episode of the Forgotten Race Review was brought to you by Joseph Harvilla. If you guys watch the Pathfinder stream, Joe plays Enderling Macid, my Trollkin Alchemist, and eventually once we cut through all these races, and oh my, are there so many of them, we'll probably cover races like the Trollkin that players that I know as well as myself have made using the advanced race guides, race creation rules, because why not? We make these really fun things for our groups, for our games, why not share them? But I digress. Joe, thanks for your support, and to all of you out there in internet land, if you'd like to help me on my path to domination through YouTube, the most effective way to do that is through Patreon, and our Patreon link is, as always, in the description. Speaking of things that are in the description, time is running extremely short on net neutrality's potential lifespan. I'm recording this on Saturday, which means that 4 days from now, the vote to repeal net neutrality will come forward. And again, like I've been saying, every single solitary video, net neutrality matters to everybody who is listening to this because you are listening on the net. If you'd like your voice heard and you'd like to stand up for a free and open internet, as always, the links where one might do so are in the description. Now let's dive in. In classical Greek mythology, Syrinx was a nymph and a follower of Artemis known for her chastity. Pursued by the god Pan, she ran to a river's edge and asked for assistance from the river nymphs. In answer, she was transformed into hollow water reeds that made a haunting sound when the god's frustrated breath blew across them. Pan cut these reeds to fashion the first set of panpipes, which were thenceforth known as Syrinx. Interestingly enough, the word syringe was derived from this word, and in medical jargon, a syrinx is a fluid-filled cavity within your spinal cord or your brainstem. In Pathfinder, we're going an entirely different route. Pathfinder's syrinxes are humanoids native to the continent of Arcadia, with the heads, wings, and feet of owls. These guys are scholars who highly value art and philosophy, and they seek to distance themselves from their own history of barbarism. The methods in which they do this, however, are anything but cultured, as they seek to enslave all other races to serve their quest for cultural progress, particularly those races that don't have wings. The Syrinx society revolves around a hierarchy of the subservient races, with the Strix immediately beneath them. Syrinxes magically modified the Strix race in the distant past to serve as their soldiers and slave drivers, though the Strix of the Inner Sea region have all but forgotten their former overlords. I will point out, though, that Syrinx in Strix means something between speaker and master, which is, again, another, lore hole that not only our GMs have the ability to delve down into, but I'm really hoping that Paizo itself will give us content for. Oh, please, please, Paizo, oh, please, please. From lofty monastery cities entrenched in soaring cliffsides and high mountain valleys, the Syrinx, despite their tendency for slavery, seek to bring peace to all lands that fall within sight of their marbled spires. So let's dive down to the character sheet right quick. Syrinx are contemplative and patient, and these traits make them somewhat slow to act. As a result, the Syrinx gets a +2 bonus to its wisdom, but suffers a -2 penalty to its dexterity. The Syrinx has a base speed of 30 feet and a fly speed of 60 feet with average maneuverability. The Syrinx has both low light vision and dark vision, and in addition, they have a trait called Nocturnal, which gives them a +2 racial bonus on perception and stealth checks at night. They receive a +2 bonus on saving throws against mind-affecting effects, and interestingly enough, at 0 RP, they have a trait called Speak with Avians, which allows them to speak with all birds of the animal creature type and bird-like magical beasts like phoenixes, thunderbirds, and the like, and they pay 0 RP for that. You guys know how I feel about languages by this point, but I'm going to go ahead and point it out here that the Syrinx, who begins play speaking only his native tongue of Syrinx, with a high intelligence score, can specifically choose Aslan as one of his languages that he knows, but can never, ever, ever, for any reason, according to rules as written for languages, begin play speaking Common. Feels a little weird to me that we can learn a dead language, but not the language of the people around us. How you play these guys is pretty much up to you. They have a neg to their decks, and I don't really like that, but I will point out two things. First off, having a fly speed and a fly speed of 60 with average maneuverability is incredibly strong, as turning the map into a 3D board where we can move up and down means not only is it harder for some bad guys to hit us, it also makes it easier for us to solve outside puzzles like how are we going to cross that chasm, or how are we going to reach that thing that's up high somewhere. Syrinx has the answer, and it's one of the few races that begins play with a fly speed, which makes it all the stronger of a choice. Also, and this one sort of depends on your GM, talking to the guy who thought it would be a great idea to start speaking with trees and got, whoa, man, there were some squirrels and there was some stuff, blah, blah. Playing a Gathlin who could speak with plants on trees, speak with avians is really, really strong or really, really not strong, again, depending on your GM. Because nobody who's doing terrible crimes, or nobody who's fleeing from the law, or nobody who's, fleeing from the party is really going to think about, oh, did that bird see me? Yeah, we can talk to those. And since we can also apply this to magical beasts that are bird-like, like phoenixes and thunderbirds, if we're playing something like a druid or a hunter who has some kind of magical beast bird, being able to speak with them, again, at GM discretion, might mean, again, at GM discretion, that you might not have to sink all those ranks into handle animal. Maybe we can pull it off simply by talking to the guy, which can make that really strong. And if we're playing something like a hunter, it frees up your skill points to be assigned somewhere else. But what do you guys think about a Syrinx? Would you play one? Have you used them as monsters? Have you used them maybe as some kind of plot device where the party is enslaved by them in the name of culture and art and higher learning? If so, or if you have anything else to say, be sure to throw it in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more videos. The next episode of the Forgotten Race Review drops next Monday.